Hey everyone! In anticipation for the upcoming release of my second book, Dragon Guardian Water, I decided I would take this time to share with you guys a little snippet from an early part of the book. And don't worry, it's nothing remotely spoilerish, so you won't have any real surprises spoiled for you, and you will still be able to enjoy all of the main plot points as I originally intended. So without further ado, here we go. 2 days later, as the early morning light streamed into the bedroom and spilled over the bed, Kira sighed softly and smiled lovingly at Duncan as their legs lazily tangled together beneath the sheets. As they had been on their first night, they had made love. Duncan's eyes were filled with devotion and awe, and they made Kira's heart feel as though it were aflame. "I've dreamed of this, of waking up next to you, from the first moment we met," Duncan murmured, while reverently brushing his fingertips over Kira's soft cheek. "Yet for all my fantasies, for all the years I spent lying awake at night aching for you, I never once thought that my dreams would become a reality." Kira's smile grew, and she gently tucked a lock of snowy white hair behind Duncan's ear before lightly tracing a finger over the pointed shell. "I've wanted no one else since meeting you, my love," she murmured. "If we had not stopped fighting our feelings for each other, I would have contented myself to spending my eternal life alone." "The thought of you spending eternity alone fills my heart with grief," Duncan whispered. "For your sake, I am glad we decided to embrace our love for each other." Kira brushed a tender kiss to Duncan's lips. "As am I," she whispered in reply. Duncan softly cleared his throat. "My love, are you certain that you don't regret waiting for our joining?" Kira gave a small but firm shake of her head. "Duncan, I almost lost you to Marin's grandfather, and you almost lost me to a poisoned arrow. If there is anything I have learned from this quest, it's that death hounds our every step." She tenderly framed her lover's face in her palms. "Ageless though we might be, we can still be killed. And after Naga's last attack, I did not wish to go another moment without sharing every bit of myself with you." She smiled and brushed a lingering kiss to her beloved's lips. "I have no regrets, Duncan," Kira murmured, "and I never will." Duncan smiled and rested his forehead against his lover's. "Still, we should be careful, my love. As much as it warms my heart to imagine your belly growing round with my child, our journey is far too dangerous, and I will not risk both your lives." Kira's heart fluttered wildly in her chest, and her smile grew as she nodded. "We will be careful, my darling." She lightly rubbed her nose against Duncan's. "And rest assured that when we do begin having children, I will love every one of them," she murmured pointedly. Duncan's smile grew, and his eyes all but glowed with love. "You will make a wonderful mother. Our children will be fortunate to have you, just as I was fortunate to have my mother." He sighed softly, and his eyes became sad as his smile faltered around the edges. "I only wish that my mother and father had been able to meet you. They would have adored you." Kira's thumbs caressed Duncan's cheeks. "And I would have adored them right back," she assured with a soft smile. "How could I do anything else when they created you and made you into the wonderful man you are?" Duncan's smile grew again, and he wrapped his arms around Kira before pulling her into a tight embrace. "The gods truly smiled when they created you, my beloved. I am a truly blessed man," he murmured fervently to Kira's ear before nuzzling it, and then finding her lips and capturing them in a long kiss. "Kira, are you awake?" Marin's voice drifted into the room. "We'll be leaving soon. Nicodemus wants to get an early start." "Oh!" Emerald eyes widened at the sight of Duncan and Kira in bed together, and Marin's entire face became the same shade of red as her hair, as she hurriedly clamped a hand over her eyes. Sorry, I should have knocked first. I'll just be leaving now." She turned on her heel and rushed from the room, only to crash into the doorframe with a pained yelp. Untangling herself from Duncan's embrace, Kira hurriedly tried to scramble out of bed, but became tangled in the sheets for all her efforts. "Marin, come back here. Let me take a look at your nose," she said worriedly, while trying to free herself from the fabric of her prison. Her other hand, now pressed to her now bleeding nose, Marin kept her eyes covered and stumbled out of the room. No, clearly you're busy. I'll come back later." At the sound of their friends' racing footsteps fading from their ears, Kira and Duncan turned their gazes to each other and managed to remain stoic for all of 2 heartbeats before falling into fits of hysterical laughter. And that concludes the little snippet that I am gifting to all of you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I think that'll be it until the book is actually released. So, Primordya Forever.